A circle full of dogs. We put in the work. Oh, baby, let's go out there with a bunch of crazy dogs.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Rush Hour Preview Show. Chris Rosa, and there's Michael Stewart. How's everybody doing after a big victory? Hey Bill, Bill's in the house. Thanks again, Bill, for stopping by. You filled up your water. You're ready to go. You're hydrated. Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, we're gonna have. Oh, here goes my light flipping down again. So Mike, Victory Monday. They had the show last night. Big win. We're moving everything tonight to Tuesday. Shawnee, who will be flying, and he'll be joining us for the last couple minutes of the show. Joker Sean's going to be flying into Jersey tomorrow to Newark Airport. I'm going to pick him up late in the afternoon, and then we're going to grab a bite to eat, make it an early night, and then we're going to I'll pick him up on Thursday, and he'll be tailgating, having a great time. So hopefully we'll have some videos and some pictures, but it's a big deal for Sean. He hasn't been back to this area in the Giants stadium since Giants Stadium, but hadn't seen a regular season Giants game for a long time. And he'll talk about that when he stops by for a little bit at the end of the show. Hey, Jay, thanks for swinging by. Yeah, Friday show. You know, Jay, I was watching last night and you posted that. I like that idea. Now, Sean will still be in Jersey. I'm not sure if I can swing it, but you know what? Let me talk to Craig. I like that idea. What do you think, Michael? Would you be around to do a recap show, maybe?
I can do it if you like. I like Jay's last comment.
Joker was sticking with the bill. Oh man, we'll get separate bills. No, we'll see. I might even pick up the tab since he is coming in, so I may even offer. Man, I know it's a big trip for him, so the least I can do. But that's cool. Yeah, that's funny, Jay. Well, you know what, Jay? Because you know why it's a good idea, Mike, is by Monday, the dust kind of settled. We're kind of like already thinking of the Seattle game. So I like that idea for Friday, that everything's still, fresh.
Yeah.
But you got to talk to the boss. Craig calls the shots. That's why we get paid the big bucks, right, Mike?
That's right. And his boss might not be available. Let him do it, his wife,
Right. Yeah, and that goes for, not you maybe, but it goes for the rest of us. Yeah, we have to, it's a Friday, we might be interfering with pizza night or something. So, Bill, man, awesome. I can't let the Monday show be the only one getting love. Got to share it around. Oh, man, awesome. Bill, thank you so much. We always appreciate the donations. And
this is the better looking group right here, Bill. This is the Chris.
The Friday, oh man, you guys are great. Hang out Thursday, yeah. Give Shawnee my best. I'll be at the local Giants hangout there. That's awesome, Bill, man. Let's get a win. Shawnee, let's go through these real quick, Michael. Friday show makes sense. Not much. Yeah, man, I'm right with you, Jay. I think we should do a Friday show. Craig, I know you don't watch this show because you're too busy. Too busy with your hand in a bag of chips, probably. But if you see this, Craig, yeah, I like that idea Jay has. We should do a Friday show. Michael's going to lead the charge on that.
Yeah.
Michael will lead the charge on the Friday show. All right, we're going to work on that. Cool. Let's get through some of these before we get rolling. Oh, Tudo.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Tudo's making a stop in.
Tudo? ¿Cómo está?
Oh, man, you're the best. Much love and respect to Truth and Chris and Joker. I guess that's Joker Jay. He'll be on. Yeah, man, you guys are great. We love the regulars. We love the new people. Without you, we don't have a show. Wow, Jay, man, look at this. $5. Super sticker, man. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Always appreciate the support. Fantastic. The new Giants profiles on Bobby O'Carey is fantastic. Yes, I saw that pop up, Bill. I gotta watch that, man. I just didn't have time.
Tell me about it. I don't know about it. Tell me.
they did like a whole background, I believe, on him. Go ahead, elaborate, Bill. But I believe it's a whole just a basic little bio, I guess, on Okereke, I want to say. But it popped up on my phone. I just wasn't able to grab it and check it out yet. But thanks, man. I'm definitely going to do that, Bill. That was on my list as well. Look what Jay says. We got to start eventually, but Jay says all this money's going to. It better not be going in his pocket. Nah, Craig is good, man. That we got to do shirts and merchandise and different things like that. That goes, towards that. And obviously, we want to do an event at some point, somewhere at a location. But that'll help with that too. But it really probably most of it, if not everything, is going to be directed, I think, towards our merchandise, especially the logos and the new shirts and everything. But we do want to do like an on location show. I know Craig's been talking about that.
You guys have been wanting me to come visit you, and I'm trying, but I might be having Spartan coming to visit me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a possibility he has some kind of connection or friends out in Myrtle Beach. So he called me, and it's going to be during that time in February where we'll have the draft. So we might do a live draft show.
Oh, wow.
With him and I together.
That would be great.
On the air in the same location. That's
cool.
Going to be fun.
That will be fun. Oh, man, keep us updated with that. And here's Bill's. All right, so here's Bill. Yeah, he's an Eagle Scout and won a ton of awards at the university. I know have my two favorite Giant players. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, he's an Eagle Scout. Wow, I love hearing the inside of some of these players. Good stuff. And Tudo, man, geez, Tudo, you're everywhere. We appreciate you stopping in. And thanks for the $4.99, $5.
Gracias.
You see the love. Thank you, man. Gracias, dude. Awesome. Craig puts in a ton of work. He sure does, man. He sure does, Jay. He really, for all the jokes we bust chops on him, and he's late a lot of times. He puts in a ton of work, and I don't know how.
Yeah, he does.
He does. So, props to Craig. I would have thrown in the towel years ago if I was Craig. I don't know how he does it between the graphics and ordering shirts and new logos. Oh man, he is awesome. I don't know how he does it, but he's an awesome guy. All seriousness. His family came over from Nigeria in 1977. Wow. Very similar to OC, right? OC was Isn't was OC Nigeria?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
was.
Nigerian.
Yeah. And also was the running back for the Chiefs. We always think about the Nigerian Nightmare.
Oh, Nigerian Nightmare.
Christian Okoye. When I hear Nigeria, that's what I think about. Hey, Daniel,
a lot of good talented players came from Nigeria, right? A lot of talented players.
Yeah, absolutely. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Hey, man, always appreciate you stopping by. All right, so everybody, thanks for stopping in. Once again, we're doing a Tuesday show. We were going to do the Wednesday show like normal, but like I said, I'm picking up Craig. I'm picking up Shawnee tomorrow, so we moved it up a day. Next week, we'll be back to the normal Wednesday. All right, let's get to it, Mike. Before we hit it off, listen, we'll just get everybody updated on some injuries. So some injury news. This week's been a lot of walkthroughs for the past, 2 days. And tomorrow, I believe, is meetings and walkthroughs for 3 days. So tomorrow will be another walkthrough the day before the game. But some interesting injuries here, updates. Adoree Jackson, the calf, did not practice. Drew Phillips, calf, did not practice. From what Dable sounded like in the press today, didn't sound too optimistic that these two guys will play. However, Nick McLeod, should be a go to come back after missing 2 games. But that's a big loss, Mike.
He's going to see a lot of playing time then.
Yeah.
He's going to see a lot of playing time.
Yeah.
Those guys don't play a lot.
Especially Drew Phillips, man. He has been doing such a fantastic job in the slot.
Yes,
Boy.
He has.
Yep. So limited, which I wouldn't be too concerned with Dexter Lawrence foot, McLeod the knee, Micah McFadden back, Slayton with the thumb. Full practice. Illuminor, he was battling a little bit of a thumb, and Schmitz with the neck right now. But they were full practice.
Ready, Illuminor.
Yeah, he better be, because they're going to move Parsons all the way around. But that's
everywhere.
Yeah. And that's the injury update right now. Tomorrow will be the designations. Probable. Unlikely to play. That sort of thing will be tomorrow, since it's the day before the game. And I'll tell you, Mike, so many injuries, season-ending injuries we're hearing about around the NFL. So, fingers crossed, Giants have been relatively healthy so far the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So not too bad right there. All right, Mike. Do you want to? What do you want to jump in with first, Mike? You want to talk about Dallas? You want to talk Giants?
Well, let's talk
What do you want
about
to
let's
talk
talk
about?
about. We'll start with the Cowboys.
Okay.
Okay.
And chime in.
Yeah.
Everybody chime in. We'll try to bring your stuff up on the board.
Yeah, we'll start with the Cowboys. Right now, they're having thus far. It's only 3 games, but they're 1-2, and they really haven't not looked. They have not looked well or good against the last 2 opponents, right? New Orleans and the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they made it a game last week with a late run, it was still they were bullied. Let's use a. They were bullied by the Ravens and by the Saints, and they kind of manhandled Cleveland, but so do we. So even though it was a close,
And you're talking about the defense.
yeah. So
yeah. And if I could chime in, Mike, can I just throw that stat out that we were talking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
So rushing on the defense, I mean, 557 yards for the year in 3 games they've given up, and that's averaging out to about 186 yards per game that they're giving up on the ground. So
right.
32nd in the league in stopping the run.
Exactly, and they're okay with allowing in passing. They only give up 187 yards through the year in passing, but alarmingly, they've given up around 30 points per game in the 3 games. And again, it's a small sample, but if it doesn't get corrected, it kind of like it could balloon into a disastrous season like we've seen with our Giants over the last couple of years. So on defense, they really had issues. And not only that, I thought this was a misprint. I went and I did a little research with them. Their red zone defense, do you know what they're giving up percentage-wise touchdowns in the red zone on defense?
Since you're saying it that way, I'm going to say they're giving up 82%.
90%.
Wow.
I thought that was a misprint. I looked at it. I went through several websites. I said, no way. But yeah, third down. They give
and let me just chime in, Mike, if I can. You know what's interesting? They got Mike Zimmer, who's a hell of a defensive coordinator, but they just aren't gelling yet. This, it's a complex defense he runs. They just, it's kind of, when Spags came here the first time around, the Giants were giving up a ton of points, back in 2007. But it's almost like the same thing. This is very Zimmer unlike, but these guys, it's a whole new system.
Yeah, and we don't know if the players matched the system he had, or Dan Quinn, did his system match the plays that he had, or they just were able to pick up on what he wanted. I don't know, but they are struggling, and they have 2 players who are front and center on their team, and Eric Kendricks, he leads in tackles with 29, and the guy who's been in the thorn of the Giants for a while is DeMarcus Lawrence. He's leading the team with 2 sacks right now, which is not saying much. So this is a defense that if the Giants could keep the motor running like they did the last game, it could move the ball against them. On offense, the Cowboys are averaging 26 points a game. They're horrendous in the running game, 74 yards per game. That's what they're doing, and that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. If you break it down in quarters, that is pretty bad. What is that? 17 yards each quarter. And now it comes out to something like that. Offensively, they're a passing team. They're averaging 270 yards in the air. So we'll get to the Giants, but that could be an issue for the Giants if they don't tighten it up a little bit in certain parts on their defense, and that's the secondary.
Yeah.
Mike,
no, go ahead, finish. We'll wait till you're done with the whole Dallas thing.
Okay.
My bad.
So we get to the Giants. I'll jump right to the defense. They're allowing 21 points a game. They're allowing 186 yards passing, which doesn't sound too bad. But we watched the last game. It just seemed like they're giving this receivers, I think, too much cushion, as if they're afraid to get beat deep. I think sometimes you gotta be able to rely on your talent, and I'm talking about a particular player in Banks. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive, I think,
Mhm.
and have the confidence that he can get back and stay with them.
And they played a lot of man on Sunday. They actually were
I
more
did
of a
notice
zone
that
team.
too.
They
I
played
thought Bowlen
everything
was
changed.
more of a zone guy.
Yeah, I think it just just the game plan changed against the the Browns. They just kind of threw, not the usual game tape that the other team studies. I mean, they basically threw a curveball with everything. So it'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see what they do this week. But
I
yeah,
mean,
I
I'm
wasn't
sure.
expecting the man.
Yeah, I'm sure all the Giants fans listening, when you watched that game, I was telling Chris this off the air. When they got their second touchdown with Amari Cooper,
Hmm.
you could see how much cushion Banks gave Cooper, and you could see he was a man on the island. He was all alone, and I just thought on that he could have moved up a little more on him, and had the confidence to take away that inside move,
Right, that was too
and
easy. Yeah, on the
right, and be
touchdown.
able
Right.
to defend if he went the other way in a
Hmm.
corner. That's too much. Yeah, he gave him too much room.
Yeah, and
Um,
thanks, Mark Stewart, for jumping in. Good to see you stopping by.
yeah,
Thank you.
the Giants are giving up 132 yards rushing, which is not good.
Hmm.
They've been doing that the last few years, and they've been trying to get that better. Their run defense.
Right.
So maybe they can do a good job with Dallas and get that number down, because I think it's imperative that they continue to keep Dallas from getting yardage on the ground. Then you got the Giants in the red zone, 33%, which is not what you want to see. But for the Giants team that usually in the bottom of the league, they're treading a little bit better because they did good the last couple of weeks, and they're doing 37% on third down conversions, which is
And,
kind of like in the
and
middle.
who's that? Giants or Dallas?
The
on
Giants,
conversion?
the Giants.
Giants,
Yeah, that's their
37%.
defense.
Yeah.
They're doing the defense.
Right. Yeah.
On
Um,
offense, 15 points a game, guys. They got to get better. They got to
mhm.
get better. We know that.
Yeah, and that
Uh,
average would have came up obviously with that Singletary went down, which was the good play, but that would have went up a little bit. But
yeah, a
yeah,
little bit.
but against
Little bit.
Dallas, I mean, even if Dallas is off, you got to figure the Giants are got to have to score 24 points at least. That's my opinion.
Yep, the Giants have to score over
least
20
24.
points easily. You're right.
Yeah, and especially
They
with their
have to.
kicker, this Aubrey kid, man, he hits field goals from 60 yards like no problem.
Yeah, I know.
So they're if they're not punting, they're going to be kicking long field goals if they're not scoring touchdowns. But yeah, I'm with you with that.
Yeah, the offensive, the Giants are 190 yards in the air, and we all want to see that get up a little bit, over 200 at least, like 220. I think.
Mhm.
I think 220 for Jones would be acceptable for Giant fans, because that would put him almost at 3,800 yards passing.
Yeah, and Mike, this is going to be a run-heavy game. I mean, the Dallas
I
has
think
to
so.
prove that they could stop the run. And here's my feeling on Dallas. I feel like they only care about two things. I feel like they care about interceptions, and I feel like Parsons and Lawrence, all they want to do is, not all they want to do, but they care about sacks.
Oh, yeah.
They're disinterested, in my opinion, to really stop the run if you get a lead on them. If you get a lead on them, it's almost like you've ripped the will away from them. They don't want to. It goes back to the Green Bay playoff game. They want no part of a physical game. Baltimore Ravens, one of the most physical teams in the league. And now, listen, they made a run at the end. They were playing a little bit, I would say, prevent. They're, keeping everything underneath. But, for those 3.5 quarters or 3 quarters, oh, my goodness, they want no part of tackling.
Yeah.
Especially
Well, we don't have a Derrick Henry, unfortunately, but, Singletary he's really a good runner in between the tackles for his size.
He hits the hole hard and take the will away with the offense, right? With
I
guys
agree.
like
I think
Runyon and
I agree.
Schmitz, obviously, and Van Roten. So take the will
Yeah.
away for the guys in the middle.
Yep, and we'll talk about what the keys to the Giants and Dallas are in this. But again, you got Jones who had a good game, and I don't want to hear anything from the negative Debbie Downers on the Giants on Daniel Jones on Twitter. I mean, if you get this performance from him, the rest of the way, the Giants are going to win some games. I mean, he may not be the answer for the Giants in 2025. I don't know what they're going to do, but he did a good job. You can't take that away from him.
No, he did.
Singletary did another good job running hard, and of course Neighbors. He's well on his way to what's he averaging? About 1,200 yards now. He's on his way 1,200 yards at
maybe
least.
Maybe even a little bit more because he's up to.
Well, yeah,
Almost
13 over 1,300 yards if he
Yeah.
continues what he's doing, and that's pretty phenomenal. I
And
think
the targets, we were throwing numbers out beginning of the season like 130 targets, 140 targets he might have.
yeah,
Craziness, and it looks that way.
he's well on his way.
Yep.
You know, so it's a game, and I brought this up, Chris. I don't know if you want me to say what I said to you off air. It's kind of corny.
Well, before you get into that, Mike, I'll bring up one more thing on the defense. Turnover differential. Dallas, they're an even 0. 3 takeaways, 3 giveaways. Giants, they're -1. 4 takeaways and 5 turnovers on
Right. So pretty even.
Pretty even.
Yeah.
Key factor though for Thursday night. Giants gotta. I think if the Giants are a +2 against Dallas, they win. They got to be
big.
like a plus.
+2 is huge. That is big, boy.
Well, I am worried about the high-powered, Dallas offense. With Dak seems to, when he sees those blue helmets, he does well. That's the one thing. Dak might look iffy here and there, but when he plays against the Giants, he always plays well.
He does. He does. That's one of the teams that really motivates him to do well, because a lot of times the Giants did not show respect to him when Zeke Elliott was in his prime running the football.
Mm-hmm.
They showed no respect to Prescott, and
right.
I think this motivates him when he plays the Giants.
Yeah, and the same thing with Parsons. His best games are always against the Giants. He always.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I think
really
I got to tell you, and I don't know if you were there, if you were with us when we did the draft back then. Were you part of us?
Yeah, I think I would have been. I think that was the first one actually.
Yeah, I think the first one was when you had Robinson was drafted by the Giants. So I don't know.
Right, so it was the year after. Okay,
right.
It was the year after.
So
yeah,
I the Giants guys and all these Giants fans, they know the Giants had Parsons. They could have got him.
Yeah, we know.
They could have got him.
Yeah, they got spooked.
Yeah, they could have got him, but so I think maybe Parsons just wants to show these teams that could have got him what they could have had.
Right.
Know?
Yep.
So we all know the last 10 games, the Giants are 1-9 against Dallas. 6 straight losses. Last time they beat him was like 2021.
Right. Andy Dalton, the quarterback.
It's a close game.
Andy Dalton, quarterback.
Is that right?
Yeah, Andy Dalton was the quarterback.
Okay, so then maybe that's why we won that game.
Probably.
So, this is like, I told Chris this story. It's kind of corny, but if any of you guys, they have a big brother growing up, you can relate to this. The Dallas is like the Giants' big brother, and the Giants cannot beat them. But I think this week could be that moment where they finally beat Big Brother. Like we all did when we were young. I remember when I did that with my brother playing football. I was able to tackle him for the first time in my life, and it was like a moment. I think this is the Giants' moment coming up. I really think that they're gonna keep that momentum, and I think they're gonna make this a game where we're not gonna see a blowout. I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
The past couple games from the Cowboys wouldn't indicate that, and even from the Giants. I mean, listen, I think one of the best things that could have happened, as much as it was frustrating in the beginning, is to have the fumble, the touchdown within 11 seconds of the opening kickoff, and to have the resiliency to still stick with it and pull that game out. It's like one of those character builders where they can build on that. Now, if they would have lost, it would have been the total opposite. They would have probably, the whole rest of the season might have been a disaster. But the fact they pulled themselves up from that, I think it's only gonna help them, moving forward. You just feel like you got to get that kryptonite away from the Giants and Cowboys, right? The Cowboys are such kryptonite to the Giants, and the good thing is the Giants are so young. They got so many new players. They haven't gone through this garbage for the last 5 years. A lot of these guys have only been here a couple years.
Right.
They've lost a couple times, but they haven't lost 8 games, right? Or 9 games, 10 games. They've only lost a couple. So they don't know how bad it is. And to them, hey, this is just another game, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, so they shouldn't be intimidated like that, knowing what the past, because they haven't lived it, you
Yeah.
know. But this is the moment, guys. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, you know. But we'll get into the keys that I think that the Giants need to do and what Dallas might need to do. You let me know when you want to get into that, Chris. We're
Yeah.
moving pretty quick here, but
Yeah.
I know we got Shawnee coming on, so
Yeah, we're good. Before we get to some game plan stuff, I think, I hate these Thursday night games, but I really believe this plays into the hands of the Giants. The reason is it's a short week, obviously. Dallas just lost. And I think one of the better things was Dallas actually came back a little bit and made it close, which made it probably worse if Dallas would have just got blown out and packed up, and then they would have just been. It probably hurt a little more to come so close for them that they lost. But the fact that it's a short week doesn't give them a hell of a lot of time to game plan, to really dissect what to expect on the Giant offense and how different they are this year compared to last year without Barkley and a new defensive coordinator. So I'm hoping, it's just they're not going to have all their I's dotted, their T's crossed for Thursday just because it's a short week. So in my opinion, I feel like this plays, a little bit better for the Giants. Obviously, they have to go on the road. That helps. But I feel like this all plays into the Giant hands, but we'll I'll have to see. But I think running the ball, and I know you're going to talk about it, and everybody's mentioned it here, the Giants just got to really stick with this run as long as the game's close, pound it, get those tough yards, and try to take the will away from the Cowboys until those holes will start to open up because they quit. And I think Jay said it. You get the feeling the Cowboys quit when things don't go their way and the grunt work of the running game. The guys up the middle, they're not very good. Now you got Parsons and Lawrence, we know that, but you feel like you take that soul away from them if you grind out that running game, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect the Giants to rush for 186 yards collectively as a team, but I think it's reasonable to think that they need to be well over 100. They got to be like 120 to 150 yards rushing. And that's everybody. That's Singletary. That's Tracy. That's
yep.
Jones.
In time of possession, right? Right, Mike? They have to limit the 3 and outs. They can't be getting it off the field 3 and outs. Even if they have to flip the field and punt, they got to have some time of possession to keep the ball out of Dak's hands.
Yep, that's true. I had a couple of plays to watch, and it's not like a matchup, but just to watch. You just mentioned before.
Are we putting this under your 3 keys? Keys players to watch? No. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Micah Parsons. Of course, that's a key guy on the defensive side for Dallas. Giants got to know where he is on every single down. They got to know where he is, and that he can move around. He can line up on one side, on the other side, even in the middle. He moves around, so they got to know where he is. He hasn't really been dominant in the 3 games thus far. Not like we're used to seeing Micah Parsons. So they can't let him wake up and have a game to remember this Thursday. They just need to keep him in check. That's a key. Dak Prescott, he's going to get yards. He'll probably throw for over 270 yards. He'll get that average to where he's been doing. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. You're not going to stop him. But if the Giants, could do other things, it doesn't matter what Dak does. It doesn't matter. On the Giants, we talk about Daniel Jones. He's, we need to see Daniel Jones in the last 2 weeks, not week 1. That's all. He doesn't need to outplay Prescott. I don't think that'd be great if he did. He just needs to play good enough where they have to worry about him a little bit. You know what I mean?
Smart decisions, right?
Yeah.
Get rid of the.
Did a great job with that, Chris.
He did. Get rid of the ball decisively. He knew where he wanted to go with the ball.
That was like definitely this year and last year. That was the quickest I've ever seen get rid of the football and not think about it. He just got rid of it and got hit, a couple of times. That was the biggest thing that I saw. His decision making was quick, and it was accurate. He didn't throw it. he didn't throw interceptions like he would have in the past.
Yeah, Mike, to your, you know what I'd love to know, and I don't know if we could ever find this out. We know that Dable's calling the plays. I'd love to know if the game planning itself is more Kafka, and then Dable approves it, or they are like. I would love to know who has more of the input on the game plan. Is it 50-50? Is it more Kafka, and then Dable just kind of, I'm gonna say corrects it, but eyeballs it and changes things. Like I would love to know how that meeting works with Dable and Kafka on game planning.
I don't know. I would think, I don't know. I would like to think that it's a 50-50. They work together. Mm-hmm. And then I guess Dable, as the game goes on, he gets a feel.
Right.
And he can, branch out to different directions based on how the game's going.
Because that Browns game, that Browns game was very different than what we saw last year from Kafka. And I know things were different because you had Tyrod Taylor in there and DeVito, so you couldn't call the same, plays, and things had to be, scrubbed down or scaled down. But man, it definitely seemed like Dable with the gameplay. It was just different. It was just different, when you with that this past week with Dable as the play caller.
Yep. And on defense for the Giants, the one kid I want to look at, and I mentioned his name a couple times already, is Deonte Banks. Mm-hmm. He's been tested the whole 3 games, and it's been kind of rough for him, and he's battling. So he's going to be tested again with whoever he's covering. It could be CeeDee Lamb, it could be the other kid. What's his name? It's escaping me. What's his name?
Oh, Cooks.
Cooks. He needs to be competitive and do a little better. I still have faith in him.
He's on the receivers. It's like he's got to get that head around and just find the ball a little bit better. It seems like he's right there. He's not off. Listen, the slant didn't look good against Amari Cooper in the touchdown in the short. But overall, I mean, he's on the receiver. He's pretty tight. But that got to get that head around somehow and have ball awareness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jury's still out on Banks. Is he a real number one? Well, end of the season, we're going to know, right, Mike? By the end of this year, everybody will know if Banks is really that true, I would say lockdown, but lockdown one that you can count on.
Absolutely. So with that, let's jump into the 3 keys for each team. You want me to do the Giants or you want me to do Dallas first? What would you like?
Do Giants.
Okay. I think the Giants, the defense, last week we mentioned how the Giants defense has to show up because they didn't really do a good job the first 2 games, and especially their top tier guys, and they did. Lawrence had a good game. Burns had a good game. Okereke did well. So did Tibbs. Tibbs played well. He played much better. And collectively, what did they have? 8 sacks as a team?
8 sacks.
Now, I'm not expecting 8 sacks in this game, but
they blitzed 53% of the time, which probably blows it off the charts. Bowens ever blitzed that much.
Yep. I liked it though. I liked some of the blitz packages. He had a corner coming in.
Oh, the safety with Pinnock. Yeah,
I loved it. Yep, I think Pinnock had 2, right? 2 sacks.
I thought he might have had even 3, 2 or 3.
Wow.
Hey, well, you know what's great, Mike, about that? It keeps the Dallas head spinning. What are they gonna be in for? Because we went from basically 2 totally different types of defenses the last 2 weeks.
Yep. I mean, the Giants can get 4 sacks. Just 4 sacks. It'll make the Prescott a little bit more on his toes. He's going to have to make quicker decisions if they can even put pressure on him. So I think that's important, especially and the Giants front line, defensive line needs to do good like it did against the run. Lawrence did a better job. The kid Chatton did it.
Nacho picked it up. Yeah, and I'll tell you, Elijah Chapman, he's going to be picking up even more snaps. Man, you see some power there. You see some power.
I agree. He had that one play. He chased down Watson, and he's a pretty quick kid for his size.
He sure is. Now, he's a former, believe it or not, I believe, I don't think it was college at SMU, but in high school, he was a former running back. So,
oh boy.
So, for a short guy, which makes you think you don't want to overuse him, but I'll tell you what, if he's a former running back in high school, I would love to see him as a lead blocker.
Yeah.
On,
What
hey,
about a goal line? Let him just go like
um,
a fridge.
he can handle the ball. Could you imagine if at some point they work on that? Because
Yeah,
remember
why
at
not?
practice, the media doesn't see a lot of these practices. They aren't allowed to know what's going on. But I'm telling everybody, do not be surprised at some point in the season if you see Chapman, who was a former running back in high school, take the dive up the middle, either as a
Right.
blocker or
Or be
as
the
a
blocker.
fullback.
Or be the blocker.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a good.
Yeah.
Listen. That would be something I think all Giants fans will love. Welcome. Thinking outside the box, something like that would
Yeah.
really be
And
awesome.
wouldn't that be great if that happened against the Eagles with the whole Philly tush push
Yeah.
thing? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
nice to throw it back at them and, give them a dose of our
Who knows?
320
Maybe he'll
pounder?
save it for that game.
Yep, that would be something,
Maybe he'll
man.
save it.
Yep.
I think the Giants secondary will be tested, not just Banks, and they'll need to do a better job in that game because not only do you have to worry about the wide receivers, but that tight end on Dallas had a pretty good year last year. His name's escaping me. Do you know who he is?
For who now?
For Dallas, the tight end.
Ferguson.
Ferguson, yeah. He had a really good year last year.
And he had a couple great catches the other day.
Yeah, and I think there's a guy
Good run.
who the Giants really cannot sleep on this game. We know the history of the Giants against covering tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful with that one,
Yeah.
with him.
And we might see a lot of 3 safety look in this game too, especially if the Giants are down with the extra corner with Phillips. That's going to keep, and Adoree out. That means you're going to have Flott in there, obviously McLeod, but I wouldn't be surprised we're going to see a lot of Newbin, Belton.
Yep, and Pinnock.
Yeah.
Yep. And my last one for the Giants is that just continue the offensive game plan. A little bit balance, run the ball, and then feed off the run with the passing. Then
Right.
let the running game establish the passing.
That's it. And you said it, Mike. Don't let Parsons. He can't wreck this game like he did with Evan Neal. If you got to keep it tight in, if Luminar needs help, you can't let. And that's why I'm hoping this running game really starts out well. That way, it takes him away, and he has to focus more on the run. Because once they get a lead, they pin their ears back, like you always say. And that's what Lawrence and Parsons want to do. They want to go after the quarterback. How many times did the Cowboys last year during the regular season were blowing out teams, including the Giants, by 20 or more points? And it was like open season. Pin their ear back, go after the quarterback, keep this game close, let them over pursue, and just, hopefully just hammer with that running game.
Yeah, when you look at the Giants defense and I know Craig is big on this because that's what we are, Giants rush. If the Giants pass rush, not just sacks, if they could collapse that pocket and force Prescott to make a quick decision, that kind of takes away the vertical game of the Cowboys,
Right. Yep.
So it's imperative that the Giants front seven, front defensive line does well because it kind of helps out the secondary, and gives them a little bit of a kind of shortens the field for them and their responsibilities and coverage, and if you look at the Giants, let's see, where am I on defense? Where's my last thing? No, I did the Giants. So let me do the Cowboys. I talked about the Giants their secondary. The Cowboys have to exploit it. I look for Prescott to throw a lot. I don't think they're going to try. I don't know if they're going to try to run the ball down the Giants' throat.
I don't know if they can. I feel like the Giants did tighten up the running game last week, and boy, they're just.
I think Prescott's going to try to is going to open up let the passing open up the running game, not vice versa.
And that's where that 3 safety look's going to come in big, Mike, with the Giants.
Yeah. Yep. So the Giants have to answer the call and kind of like shut them down a little bit. So, you don't see Prescott with 200 plus yards midway through the second quarter.
And I'll tell you, Mike, this could be a little bit of a payback for Trey Hawkins. Trey Hawkins played horribly. Remember, he got the starting job, everybody. The Giants opened up against the Cowboys last year, and it basically was demoted soon after, even though he had a great training camp. He just wasn't ready. He was too raw. Well, guess what? Trey Hawkins is going to get a lot of playing time this week with Adoree out and Phillips out. So you're going to see Trey Hawkins out there. So, hey, he has a year under his belt. Let's
Yeah.
hope for the best, and he does a good
And
job.
I'm wondering, because of way the Bowen's game, the way he does his secondary,
Mhm.
is that when they put him in, will they do more zone coverage?
I got to think so. The way the situation is, Mike, you might see a lot of soft shell,
Yeah.
Tampa 2 type defense. We're keeping everything underneath, and maybe having Dak pick his spots and pick the open. Hopefully he makes the right choice, especially with the three safeties, and he's got to be able to pick the zone. And once again, you could play one side of the field zone, the other half man. So hopefully Bowen makes things a little confusing and not so vanilla, right? But I would think it's going to be more leaning towards the zone, in my opinion. Oh, did Mike fade out? Michael froze. Mike, if you can hear me, chime back in, and we'll bring you back up. So I'm going to remove you, and then we'll see if you get back in. And we're going to wait for Shawnee. Let's take a couple chats here. Yeah, Trey Hawkins. I know, Jay. Yeah, we got a bad taste after last year, with some bad situations there with him in the game. But you're hoping, he made the team, so he showed a lot in training camp, and he's grown up. And remember, he's a late round pick, so yeah, I know. I'm concerned myself, but all hands on deck, and hopefully he's he's able to do a decent job. We're not asking for him to be great. Just be a pro out there and do your job, right? Bring Joker. Yeah, he should be here any minute. I don't know where he is. Bill says he's napping. Oh my gosh, Sadie Hawkins. Sadie Hawkins. Is that a Gettysburg? Is that Sadie Hawkins? Is that Gettysburg reference? I'm 2-1 in your fantasy. Oh yeah, I hope. Hey Bill, I hope Spartan Mike is following up with all that stuff. So that's I know he's running the show with that, but awesome. And I remember, Bill, you weren't a big fantasy football guy, so good for you, man. Awesome. The Sadie Hawkins. Jay, you make me laugh, man. That is too funny. Sadie Hawkins dance back in like when you're a kid going to camp or something. Oh my God. But anyway, let's kick it back with the football. I don't know where Truth is, but hopefully he comes back in. I don't know where he is. But so what I'm thinking about for this game, everybody, besides the running game, is the kicking game. I'm a little concerned about Joseph, right? He was brought in last week, misses a 48-yarder. As a Giants fan, we all know we lose by so many of these late field goals. This Aubrey kid is unbelievable. Kicks 60-yard field goals like nothing. And there we have Joseph, who nails a 61-yarder a couple years ago against the Giants when he was with the Vikings, and he misses a 48-yarder. And that was off, right? Everybody, he really, I think it was to the left. Man, it wasn't even close. So Dable said he's sticking with them. It's a short week, so I get it. They're not bringing anybody in to make a quick change. It was only one field goal he missed. But, man, he's got to be able to, he has the opportunity on Thursday night. Every point, like every game, is going to mean a lot, especially in this game, because they definitely have the upper hand in the kicking game, special teams. You're going to love this one, everybody. Michael Stewart is calling me on the phone. We're going to, did he hang up? I was just going to pick up Mike. We're going to call Michael back live. Let's see what he has to say. This will be funny.
Hey,
Michael, I got you on the show. Everybody wants to know what the hell happened to you.
I lost connection.
Oh my God, are you back on? Can just get the link and come back in.
I can't get connected again.
Oh boy.
Let me see if I can do it through my phone.
All right, see if you can do your phone. I'm going to mute you for now.
All right, fine.
I'll check back with you. All right.
All right.
So Michael lost connection. We'll have the Joker in here in a couple minutes. Jay, it's like college when you can see the fear in the kicker's face. Yeah, I hope that's not the case with Greg Joseph, but yeah. Oh man. Oh my goodness, Jay, that is classic. You got to see the comment by Jay right there, Mike. Truth's AOL connection signed him out. Truth, tell me the truth. Truth, you know you have an AOL account, don't you?
No.
You don't. Oh, all right. See, Jay, you're wrong. He doesn't. All right.
I don't know what happened.
Awesome. My
I don't know
Thanks,
where I
Phil.
was. Was I talking about Dallas? I was talking about the Giants secondary, right? They need to
Yeah, we're
exploit.
concerned about. Hey, Darius, thanks for jumping in, man. We're gonna have Joker, who's flying up here tomorrow. He's gonna be joining us. So, Darius, thanks for swinging by, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, Mike, we were saying about the secondary is a concern with these injuries, and we got to be able to. Are we going to play a? I would think more zone, right, Mike? Don't you agree?
I agree. I think you're going to see more zone. You know, a couple of man to man, but yeah, I think you might see more zone. And the Giants Giants secondary just needs to keep the big plays away. You know, that's
Yep.
what Dallas likes to do.
And the one guy that hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, well, he had a little bit more this week, but against Washington, not much. And you know, a couple, you know, you heard a little rumblings. But Isaiah Simmons, he's gonna be called into action this week too, with the Drew Phillips being out. So
Yeah, yeah.
you
I
know,
want to see the kid play anyway. I think he's got talent and he can help. He can help with the defense. And talk about Dallas, how bad their running game is. And I think even though I think they're going to pass the ball a little more, I still want to develop a little bit of a running game. I think it's imperative that they get 100 yards at least. That would definitely help them.
you're talking about Dallas now.
Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
That would definitely help them. And lastly, you mentioned it earlier about turnovers. I think Dallas, especially on defense, they need to be create more turnovers and be more what do you call optimistic on that.
Yep.
They need to be. They have to win the turnover battle.
Oh God, without a doubt. And look at that comment, like by Jay. And Jay, I agree with you, man. I mean, I'm kind of like wishy-washy about Simmons, but he's going to be active in the secondary with two guys down. It's almost going to be necessary. He's going to have to get in. He's going to.
What doesn't Jay like about Simmons? I like to know, Jay. What don't you like about? What do you see? I'm just curious. What do you see in him that you don't like? And if he's writing it down, then
I'll tell you on my end, Mike. I mean, he's an athletic guy. He's fast, but you'd like to see him do one thing well. Like what does he do well? Like what besides being fast? Does he cover great? Does he tackle? I don't think he tackles great. He's an athletic freak. It's a hard to put him somewhere. I don't know. I'm just throwing out.
I just think with a guy like Simmons, I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowler in the making. I'm just saying they got to use him because he's very athletic, like you said. All right. He doesn't even have a position fight. Well, whose fault is that? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, and I think part of the problem was Mike and Jay was that when we went to the Cardinals, man, they went through like 2 or 3 coaches, and he just kept like, what was the plan with him? Like, it seemed like everybody came in with their own thing, and after he was drafted, he hasn't.
I got to be honest with you. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. If they would have made him a strong safety coming out of college, go through the growing pains for the first 2 years, because it would probably have taken him a couple of years to get used to that open space.
Right.
I think you would have seen a different player right now. I'm not saying a Pro Bowler, but when he was at Clemson, he played a lot of different positions, mostly safety. And I think he excelled as that strong safety in the box, not worried about so much center field like your old-fashioned safeties did.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they misused him. He's got too much talent to consider him a waste. There's still something there. You just got to find it. You got to find it. And even if it's only 10 different types of plays for him, if he's good at it, utilize him.
I mean, this could be a perfect opportunity to let him rush the passer.
I agree. You put him on the same size as Burns, or let him line in the middle, let him stunt to the outside along with Burns. It's going to cause a havoc. It's going to cause problems.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. Yeah, Jay, that's really what he's been good at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Getting to the quarterback, but he's not a linebacker in the middle. You know,
no, he's not.
He's not a good tackler. Right? No. All right,
you guys. Hold on, Chris. Do you remember, guys, when Dexter Lawrence, they lined him up on the outside early on in his career, and he didn't do that well, and then they put him in the middle over the center, and he started to excel.
Right.
I always said that he's a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence is a horse, but they played him like a thoroughbred, not like a Clydesdale.
Right.
You got put him in the middle of the defensive line and let him cause havoc, let him block and clog up the middle. And that's what he did. That's why who he is now.
Yeah. Wow.
You know?
That's a good one. Ngakoue. He couldn't find a team I don't even know if he's on a team this
Yeah, I think he's a free agent still, isn't he?
He's still out there because that's his MO. He can't stop the run. He's just a pass rusher.
And that's okay
bigger body, but yeah.
Yeah, that's okay if the Giants could put like 10, 12 plays for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay if he gets in and makes a sack or makes a tackle for a loss. That's fine.
Yeah, my thing is if he's going to be on the active roster, use him at some capacity, whether it's going to be special teams or coming in on passing downs to get to Dak, because you know what, he is athletic. So he's proven he can get to the quarterback. Well, Mike, we'll do our picks. Let's bring in Sean. Sean's in the back room. Sean, short notice. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
We just went over some of our, predictions of what we like to see for the game on Thursday night and our thoughts, and so we're feeling good. I think we basically said the Giants got to lean on the running game until proven otherwise. Oh,
wait, we can't relive. Sean.
You might be muted. Okay. All right. Well, Sean's fixing that. Mike, we'll do some picks. But before we do that, we'll get to Sean on his trip over to Jersey in a second.
All right. So let me hear you, and everybody who's listening, guys. Let me hear what you have to say.
Jay's on fire. I'm sending Tim to New York to measure Craig's height. Don't worry, Jay. We'll do the same. I've seen Craig. We're kind of both bordering on 5'8". So Craig, for a guy that makes fun of short people or makes fun. Doesn't want short people. Craig is, Craig's a little short.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know. My whole thing is messing up tonight.
No worries. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I caught the tail end of the Simmons talk, so good thing I wasn't on because I'm very opinionated when it comes to Simmons. So
yeah, I forget.
You don't like him either?
No, I like him. I like him a
okay.
lot, and I thought he played better, and he's good in coverage, and he missed the tackle going after the quarterback, but again, that's his strength. You have him blitz and you have him coverage. Use the way he needs to be used. I would also like to see McFadden
spots.
Yeah, I would like to see McFadden, blitz more, maybe even off the edge sometimes too. He's a solid blitzer. So
yeah, we're gonna see that. Hey George, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate that. Sean, that's basically what we were saying. That you got to kind of pick and choose. Your spots with Simmons.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the guys they bring back too. How much if Musa will get a little more playing time now that he's a little healthier, right? If Deontay Johnson comes back the next week, but I agree, you got to run the ball, you got to make them stop it because they haven't been able to do it, and then keep taking what the defense gives you. Like, don't try to make force something that's not there. You can't make mistakes against the Cowboys. You gotta play well, and you gotta again. Take what they give you. So it'll be an interesting view because for me, as you guys mentioned, me being in the stadium, I'm excited, man. Coming up, watching the game live, first time in years. I have not been to, the air conditioner stadium, but that old Giant stadium in the Meadowlands. So, back when they had the Meadowlands logo.
Yeah, and Sean, tell everybody the last regular season game you were at years ago. You have the year on that, or
my god, yeah, the last regular season game I think was somewhere in like '84 or something like that. It was
you had Sims, Scott Bruner, somewhere in there.
It was Sims. It was Sims. Was the quarterback then.
Okay,
me too.
And it was. I think it was against the Redskins the last time I was there because where I lived, we were about 3 hours from the stadium.
Okay.
The doctors my mother worked for had season tickets. So we always got one preseason game.
Yep.
But getting regular season tickets was very hard. So
of course
we got a couple of those towards the end of the year when they didn't want to make that drive. I just remember 2 games we went to like cold, rainy. One was against the St. Louis Cardinals, and then it was the Washington Redskins. So that's how long it's been since I've been to, those team names don't even exist anymore. So I'm excited. Any of you guys are going to be at the game, make sure you come up, say hello. Yep. Joker hat will be there, so easily recognizable. I'll be wearing that on Thursday. So
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, please do. Anybody going to the game, J19, I call it the cage. It's right in between Big Blue Barbecue, which you can get a wristband. Just go online to Big Blue Barbecue and you can sign up. They have all the food, all the beverages included, and right at J19. They're right next door, J22. But you'll see a cage. That's why I call it the cage. It's kind of enclosed little area that we take over. So it's a real good spot. So just shoot Sean or me a message, and we'll get you to where we are.
Yeah, absolutely. The Century Red jersey will be there, and then the Joker hat. So I should
Awesome.
be easy spot.
That's great. So Sean, we
Yeah.
want to talk real quick, man. How excited are you about making the trip? You're getting on the plane tomorrow. You're coming up to Jersey, and you must be pumped up just to start off with the tailgate early afternoon, and it's going to be a long day, man. You're ready for it?
I absolutely ready for it. Getting to meet you, getting to meet Craig. Well, and I know I heard the height talk going on, so I know my height, and I so we'll know.
How tall are you, Sean?
Well, listen, I'm 5'9", so
okay.
We'll see where Craig is. So
you gotta take a picture. You three have to take a picture side by side. See who's the tallest.
I have a feeling it's going to go. If we go in height order, it'll be Chris, me, and then Craig. If Craig's height is accurate, I think that's how it'll go.
He told me he was 5'10".
I'm 5'8". I'll be the shortest out of you guys.
That's what I'm saying. So you'll be first, I'll be in the middle, and then we go in ascending order.
Craig wears those special turf shoes. It boosts him up like 2 inches.
Yeah, it's true. I know. I wore the high shoes too.
Remember the Apex? Remember the Apex turf shoes?
Oh my goodness!
That's normal shoes for Craig. He wears those to work.
He wears lifts. Is that what you're saying?
He doesn't need them anymore because nobody has AstroTurf. Everybody has Field Turf. He wears those turf shoes with the little nub. That's why he always talks about. He's got some people have work shoes. That's his work shoes. They're white, black, burgundy, whatever color. He's got he wears them to work. It has a little tongue in the front.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the Apex, of course.
He wears them to work.
Oh, that's hilarious. I always try. I always try to buy sneakers with a little extra heel on them. So I don't get flat shoes ever.
It's too funny, man. But we can't wait, Sean. It's going to be a fun time, and I think the rain's going to hold off too. So knock on wood, man. We should get through the tailgate without hopefully any rain.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, it ain't going to rain on my parade because again, this is years and years in the making, so it's gonna be great. And
Jay is just on fire, man. You got.
He's like Ronnie Dangerfield, man.
Yeah, like Joey B follows us. He's a comedian. Like Jay, you need to get with Joey B and be on the circuit with him because I think you can open up, man. I think you'll do fine.
Yeah, depending on the day of the week, sometimes Jay's not funny. It's not every day he's funny. You got to catch him on the on days.
Yeah, well, we have bad days, man. We get good days and bad days. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the alcohol content? Oh my goodness, I don't know. We'll have to find out, Jay.
That's a game time decision right
there. Oh yeah. I'm knowing Sean, he's going to have some video and some pictures, I'm sure.
So Chris, how far are you from where Craig is when you guys tailgate?
Not far, probably maybe 3 or 4 sections over. But the problem is Craig gets there a little later because he goes with the whole group on a bus that they all meet somewhere. So I can't tell you how many times for a 1:00 game, I'm already in my seat basically, and I'm getting a text, "Where are you?" I'm here. I go, "Craig, I packed up, man. It's 11:40. I'm already, or 12 o'clock. I'm in. I'm getting in, the time he gets over." And I get it. He gets pulled in different directions at his place. But I'm like, everything's already down in the car. It's like we were never there. I'm like, "Craig, can you just take your car one day and get there at 8 o'clock like me? And just, that way you can hang out with." So I'm hoping tomorrow. He said he's going to be there by 5. So that's not bad. So hopefully
that'll be good. We'll have a good time.
You mean Thursday?
Thursday, my bad. Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Feels like a Wednesday for sure.
Yeah.
But so hey, Sean, while we have you, did you do predictions last night? I don't know if I heard that. Did you do?
We did not.
No.
That I remember. So
okay.
I don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's do some predictions. Go ahead, Sean. What do you think? What do you think Thursday?
Listen, here's what I'll say. I'm not going to do predictions because I'm not going to jinx anything. So I'm going to tell you right now. But what I will say, we are catching the Cowboys at the right time where we can get a victory. I'm not going to say we are going to win, but this is probably the in the last several years, this is the best chance we have to compete with them and really be able to get a win. I think The old line has been huge. I think obviously you got Micah, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, but I don't think the defense is what it has been the last couple of years. And I also, we talked about this last night, was the old line for the Cowboys is not nearly what it was, right?
Well, they're getting old. A lot of
that, and some of the guys aren't there anymore, and they weren't
the rookie struggling, right? Sean Tyler.
Well, he's been doing well according to Pew last night. He said he's been well, but nobody else really has. And listen, if you're going to have a weakness on the line, you guys, I know you talked about Dex a little earlier. Like Dex is going to eat up that center. Like he's really got it. That's what he's got to do. I think you can blitz, but you have to blitz in the sense of not maybe 56%, but do it in a sense where maybe 30 to 40%. Because even against Cleveland, they were blitzing, but they still had guys covered and bracketed. Because you just can't let CeeDee Lamb run open, right? With a lot of open field in front of him.
And we were saying, Sean, the injuries are concerned with Drew Phillips probably out and Adoree. That's going to pull Trey Hawkins into the lineup, and
Well, I think maybe, but Nick McLeod is supposed to come back as well.
That's right. I'm thinking maybe with the when they go 3 or 4, receiver sets, it's definitely going to force Hawkins into the lineup.
Well, here's the other thing, because they had a guy that played the other day, and I can't think of his name.
Art Green.
Art Green. I think he played pretty well, right?
He did. That was his first ever football game. I'm a little nervous, first ever real game. But I hear you.
I get it. And listen, I know people hate on when I talk about him, but Flott played well. So you'll have him depending on where you put, different guys. But again, if not having Phillips, is definitely, and not having Dory is a big one. We'll know more. We'll know more tomorrow for sure if they're going to be out, but it's not trending like they're going to play, right?
Right. Yeah, I think Dable said basically, doesn't look good kind of answer he gave. But we'll just go to Bowen defense. It's got to keep everything underneath. We might see more 3, like we were saying, 3 safety sets.
Which Bowen likes to do anyway. That's his thing. Like you saw a lot of that anyway. So that's not bad. If you have Belton and Pinnock and Dubin in there, and then if Flott can play like he did against Cleveland. I mean, listen, Amari Cooper is a savvy veteran, so he's not a CD, but he's not trash either, right? Like he can get over.
He's a move the chains receiver. He'll move the chain.
Yeah. And Banks did pretty well against Justin Jefferson, so I think that's pretty comparable there. So maybe Banks will step up to the challenge like he's done with those big time guys. He knows that what CeeDee Lamb is. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I listen. I think they can win. I think they can compete. I think they do well. So that's my prediction.
You think they're going to win, but do we have a score?
I don't know. I'm not giving all that. Did you not hear what I said to start the segment? No. Listen, I know like Eli's thing was I'm not superstitious. I'm a little superstitious. No, man, I am superstitious.
Okay. Well, let's not jinx anything then. Don't keep doing what you're doing.
I was talking to somebody on Twitter. They're like, "Oh, I didn't wear Giants gear last week. Do I wear it this week?" I'm like, "No, you don't wear it. You don't, Bull Durham. You don't mess with it."
Oh man, I don't move people around in the where the games is. If it's watching the basement, if everybody's sitting in a certain spot and things are going well, nobody move. Everybody stays.
Exactly. I'm not even wearing the same shirt I wore on Sunday because I'm not at home, so I can't. That breaks the the mojo. You can't. So I gotta do something different since I'm in the in the stadium. So
all right, I get it. And Jay's right, man. We were so high on that first game last year against the Cowboys, and it just backfired. So yeah, man, it kind of like our tail between our legs. Plain stitious. That's what Eli would say. Good job, Bill. Before we wrap it up, Mike, give me your. Do you want to give a prediction or you want to lay off?
No, I know. I'm like Sean. I don't give numbers, but I think the Giants they just cannot let Dallas wake up a sleeping dog or a sleeping bear. They cannot let Dallas feel like the big brother and bully they have been to the Giants the past 10 games, right?
Yep.
This is their moment. I think, like Sean said, this is the right time to play Dallas. This is their moment. And I think the Giants have a better chance of winning this game than losing. How's that?
I agree. Can I tell you what I'm feeling? If you guys want to hear about
it,
I feel like the Giants are going to play a hell of a game. They're going to play a hell of a game, and they should win. And there's always those couple plays, right, guys? Whether it's a turnover, a bad penalty, and I just see this Aubrey kid hitting a field goal from 58 yards to win it. And we go back and say, they should have won. They played a hell of a game. They should have won. They had the chance. They had it. I'm just feeling it.
It's a possibility.
I'm feeling a 58-yarder. I hate to say it. I hope not. But it's one of these games where you're going to be proud of them. Like, you know what, man? They played tough. If it wasn't for this and that, it would have ended differently, and it shouldn't have came down to the field goal. I just until they prove they can beat this team.
A better performance.
Yeah. But I don't think it'll be disappointing. I just hope they squeak it out.
I want them to bring the effort attitude like they did against Cleveland. I want that mantra to stay. You know, they got to play angry. If they're bringing in that, hey, they're the big brother. They've been beating the shit out of us for a while. Right. We're gonna give it back. That's what you want to see, and I think they do have that. It's in them, and you saw it both offensively and defensively of what they did against Cleveland. So I need to see that same energy, that same passion, that same drive.
Right.
And I think it's there because there's a lot of issues going on with Dallas right now. It's not coming off of one game, because that's the thing you don't want. Like, they get blown out. Like, you worry if they got blown out against the Saints and then we play them, like, what's going to happen there, right? But it's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
The defensive coordinator is not meshing well with the team again. He's pissing some people off. So the timing's right. It just they gotta do what they did on Sunday and more.
The last question, then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, real
Good
quick.
thing or go ahead, Mike. What?
I'm sorry.
No.
We didn't mention this, but I think you're going to see Diggs play physical on Neighbors and play more one man-to-man on him.
I think so. I think he's going to follow him all around.
And that could go against him. I think Neighbors will welcome that. I think it's going to be a great battle to watch.
Right. Hey, JT Savoy, thanks for jumping in. We're waiting for you. I knew you always pop in. Thanks. Thanks. Last question for you guys. Good thing, bad thing, short week. And I'll give you my thoughts. But go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
Are you sure? All right. So I think it's a good thing because they can ride that momentum that they had coming Sunday. They have less time to think about things, injuries or whatever. But I think that momentum they had, the attitude they have, I think it's a good thing. It's a short week.
Yeah, when you win on Sunday and you're playing Thursday, it's always a good thing. And when you lose, it's a bitter taste in your mouth. And you got to see how Dallas responds to this. They could respond very well and make a loud statement here, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Dallas played the 4:30 game. They were getting blown out, and then they came back, and then the plug was pulled, and it was over. Not a lot of days to game plan, right? They only have a few days. So they can't dot their I's and cross the T's like a normal week. So I think that plays into the Giants' favor as well. Hopefully the Giants and they got to travel, right? They got to travel up here, so that's a day right there. So
absolutely. And the X factor I'm going to bring up, I don't know if you guys talked about it, when the comment was put out there about guys stayed overnight or whatever, Dable was talking about the coaching staff. So I don't know if you guys can. I can't remember a time where it was put out there that a coaching staff stayed overnight after a game to start game planning for a Thursday night game. So
I don't know.
That's my X factor right there.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. That's good.
That is good. Yeah, I heard that. I wasn't aware of. Yeah, I've never remember hearing that before either. Yeah, because you hear of a head coach, doing it, but you don't hear about a coaching staff.
Exactly. Yeah, he said there was a quite a few guys because we weren't sure if it was players or who it was, and then it came out he was referring to the coaching staff that stayed overnight after the game planning and that. So I love to see that, love to hear that. So I think that's that added advantage.
That's it.
That can help.
And you know what's going to happen too, guys? They went on Thursday. Dable will be in the locker room saying, "All right, guys, I'll see you on Tuesday."
Exactly.
They get those days off, which will be nice, which I'm sure that's a big incentive for them.
Yep.
So, all right, awesome. Well, Sean, thanks for stopping in. And I'm sure next week when you're back on the show, you're going to give your thoughts besides the game, but the experience, how great it was, win or lose, just to be there with the crowd and your brothers, right? All your brothers and sisters Giant fans, which will be awesome, man. You're going to feel it.
Absolutely. I hope a lot of the guys that tune into the show, whoever can be there, get to meet them and anybody else on that. So,
and I believe they're giving out some lights too, like these cool lights to for the Thursday night game, where I'm sure they'll be like blue or red. It'll be some sort of not like the drone thing, but we're going to have lights, and they're going to have something going on in the stadium, so which will be cool.
Yeah, here we go. Party it up. Let's
Yep,
go.
yep. All right, Mike. Any last parting words?
No, I'm just expecting a very good competitive game.
Yep. Me too. Me too. I think we're all on board with that. All right, cool. Everybody, thanks for jumping in and hanging with us at for Rush Hour. Don't forget, you're going to catch Sean and Craig, Spartan, or Alex and Alex, and or Alex on Monday for the recap. Oh, Sean, last thing. Jay made a good suggestion. Real quick, everybody. Good point. Maybe there should be a show on Friday. But I know you're going to see. You got to be on there too, and you're going to be in Jersey, so that's not
right.
Work.
Exactly.
Because I know on Monday we've got kind of like 3 days, but we might have to just do it that way. It might be too tough, but it was a good thought.
Yeah, not really.
No, see, I thought because it was fresh.
I'll tell you right now, if they win Thursday, Craig goes on Friday, it'll be a good show. A lot of people
only because it's fresh. Like by Monday, we're not that we kind of like are turning the page at that point. But once again, you guys will touch upon it and maybe just not get crazy on the game. It's over. It's been 4 days, and then just kind of see what's down the road.
Maybe.
Kind of
I mean, again, if they win, maybe we can think about doing a live show from somewhere with the three of us, figure something out. Maybe.
God, I hope they don't lose because then you got to rehash it on Monday again. Like by Monday, you want it just to have.
No one wants to hear about it.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when
we're thinking all good thoughts. We're thinking all good thoughts right now.
All right.
No negative juju out there.
All right. Well, there you have it. You'll see Sean, Craig, Alex, Spartan on Monday, 8:00 for not rush hour for.
We know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
NY Giants Rush.
NY Giants Rush. Jeez, man, it's over. We're done for NY Giants Rush on Monday. All right, guys. Have a great week. See you at the game. Those of you going, and see you on Monday at the show. Bye, guys.